Good afternoon, everyone. We are Beam Research Group 2. I'm Bogdan Hrotevitsky.
I'm Malaya Gerlin.
I'm Isha.
I'm Matthew Kim.
I'm Sean.
I'm Sharvin.
Over the past week, we've been working hard to understand the topic of the heart-brain connection. More specifically, the relationship between spreading depolarization in the brain and cardiac arrhythmia. We'd also like to have a special mention for our mentors, Dr. Yam Akbari, a neurologist, and Sung-Young Wang, a UCI student that also works in Akbari's lab.
So before we get into the details of our lab and research, let's talk a bit about the background behind our lab. So the Akbari lab is primarily focused on bench-to-bedside research, in which the findings from experiments conducted are used to create better treatments for neurological patients. And previous studies at the lab have shown that there's post-surgery recovery of rats improved when investigating spreading depolarization with cardiac arrest. And you may ask why this is important. Well, most cardiac arrest patients right now suffer from poor recovery. So with such a huge problem as this, the experiments are designed to be aimed at prioritizing post-cardiac arrest recovery and reducing brain damage as a result of cardiac arrest. So therefore, if we're able to further confirm a relationship between spreading depolarization and cardiac arrest, we'll be able to apply this knowledge to improve and increase the number that recover or the amount that recover with better neurological outcome.
Okay, so our goal is to basically understand the heart-brain connection underlying cardiac arrest. And not only this, but we can further explore relationships between spreading depolarization and recovery. So the very first thing is that spreading depolarization, also known as brain tsunamis, is the near complete breakdown of an ion gradient. And that's kind of complicated, but honestly, it's not that bad. In our experiment, we used asphyxia to induce spreading depolarization. And asphyxia is basically when you don't get enough oxygen and you can't function properly. During spreading depolarization, there's mass amounts of hyperactivity. These surges are so massive and intense that you often get neuronal death and permanent brain damage. And although that's bad, you can use this when you see the onset time of spreading depolarization in relation to the onset time of cardiac arrest, you can see there's a slight correlation into how it recovers. And if we know more about that, we can help optimize better recovery.
So cardiac arrhythmia is a heartbeat that is irregular. The heartbeat can either be too slow, which is bradycardia, too fast, which is tachycardia, or erratic, which is ventricular fibrillation. Any cardiac arrhythmia can cause cardiac arrest. And cardiac arrest is a sudden malfunction of the cardiac electrical system, resulting in an abrupt loss of heart function. Without the heart pumping blood to any part of the body, especially the brain, there could be detrimental damage or even organ death. More than 500,000 Americans undergo cardiac arrest annually, and less than 4% of those who do undergo cardiac arrest survive with recover full brain function.
So our group hypothesized that if spreading depolarization happened earlier during cardiac arrest, it would actually improve neurological recovery in case of cardiac arrhythmia. And so the majority of previous findings have deemed spreading depolarization to be completely negative for human health. Spreading depolarization is usually associated with things such as migraines, strokes, and even the possibility of death. However, in more recent public findings, there has been a correlation showing that spreading depolarization can actually improve neurological recovery in the case of cardiac arrest.